Good morning.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing. How are you this morning?
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I've been up since about 12:30.
Oh shit, what happened?
Well, I finished Ricky Stenicki,
Oh yeah.
and then that was about midnight, and then I fell asleep, and my youngest daughter woke me up and goes, "Hey, Dad, I pooped."
Oh no.
I was like, "Cool." And
Sweet.
she goes, "Can you wipe my butt?" And I go, "Yeah." Here we are.
What everyone wants to hear in the middle of the night.
Yeah. It's like, "Are you getting in bed?" She goes, "I need you to wipe my butt." I'm like, "Oh shit." Okay. So,
Which I mean, at least she told you that, and she didn't just like climb into bed and have shit all over, because that would have sucked.
props to her. Props to her. That's why she's won an award at school, because
Yeah.
she does that. So we have to attend that this afternoon.
Oh
So
yeah,
that'll be
that's
fun.
awesome.
Yeah,
It'll be a good time.
I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, I'm a little more awake.
Yeah. What's she win an award for?
It's called the Hornet Award. It's an acronym for, like, honesty is one, and then organization, something, responsibility,
Oh, cool.
nice, something, I don't know.
Yeah, she just did really good at school, basically.
She did really good at school, but the whole, let's see, organization, that's apparently school only.
Yeah.
Responsible,
Kids are.
school only. But no, I'm proud of her for getting that. I mean, Vivian got it last year. She got it last year in third grade or second grade. Yeah, whatever grade she was in last year.
Whichever.
And then
she's moved on.
But they do. I think it's one per class. So I think there's 2 kindergartens. So there'll be 2 kindergartens, 2 first, 2 second, 2 third, 2
That's
fourth.
awesome.
So
and
it's one.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So cool.
So she has no idea about it either. So
oh, even better. So she'll be pumped.
Yeah. So but I think they figured out when they walk in the gym and they see their parents sitting there. Like,
yeah. Like, what the hell are you doing here?
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
What's going on, David Wilson? He's in the comments saying hi.
Oh, cool. I thought you were talking to me, and I was like, nothing. Just got back from the gym. I actually feel much better. For anybody that deals with like the seasonal allergy bullshit with the weather, I just went and walked and sat in the sauna, and it pulled everything out of me. Because I thought this morning I was dying. I slept like shit all night. I was coughing. Stuffy, sore throat, all the bullshit. Woke up this morning, same thing. I don't think I can send it to you through the screen, but
I don't know.
It's just allergy bullshit, because then I went in there and walked. We walked like a half mile and then went and sat in the sauna for 20 minutes, and I feel completely different. I took all my vitamins this morning. And
did you say your prayers?
I did, yep. I said my prayers and
trained. Well, you semi-trained.
I did, sort of. I didn't really.
Did you believe in yourself?
Sometimes. Other times, not so much. But
well, you just did all Hulk's rules.
Working on that.
Yeah. But speaking of Hulk's rules, you and I did some video gaming last night.
That was so much fun. I'm excited to get like all of the technology we need to make it like a legit thing, because I think we could do that pretty often and it would be a blast. Like, I love what you sent me last night. I saw it this morning. I passed out. I think I texted you back, and then I probably fell asleep maybe 5 minutes after that. So that's why you did not get a response until this morning. But I really like it. I like that you had like all of our guests in there. You even had like factions and tag teams ready to go, so we can kind of create the Dynamite universe.
It took 5 minutes to do that.
Did it really?
To list them all? Yeah. I just pulled
awesome.
up Spotify and started perusing down the list.
Even like your tag teams and the factions and stuff were awesome. Like, those were all like really, really cool. I think that'll be so much fun.
Yeah. So I've been going through and asking like the guests, I'm like, who's your favorite wrestler? Because then it's going to be copy and paste their moveset, because it's just easier.
Well, yeah. And then, because I mean, obviously they're not like, they don't care. We need to sit and spend a day creating all this stuff.
Yeah, that's not going to be fun.
No, well, it will be, because we'll have a good time doing it. It'll be fun to like see how close we can get it to look like the guest. I think that would be cool. Like, seeing how close we can make all of the guest. I'm excited for our women's division, because it's like small, but it'll be fun.
Yeah,
because we have what? There's probably 5.
I think there's 7.
7?
Yeah, I think there's 7.
It was a lot of fun, though. So anybody who hasn't watched it, we posted on pretty much everything. But basically, we just sat and played matches. The quality's not the greatest. We've learned that we have to.
No, if you click the YouTube link, though. If you click the YouTube,
that worked. That worked great. So
that's way better. You just won't see our dumb faces. You hear our voices, and you actually watch good quality stuff.
Well, and it pisses me off that the iPad and my brand new phone doesn't communicate and we get that grainy ass quality. I hate that Apple, it's just like everything else. Apple and Android, they don't want to be friends. So rather than letting shit be compatible, we get a terrible grainy ass quality with a brand new phone.
Yeah, that happens. But guess
Whatever.
what? You went 0-2 against me.
I did. You kicked my ass. Your reversal skills are insane. You are so quick with timing those. It was brutal.
Yeah. I've only played about 6 times.
Seriously? That makes
Probably.
me even more mad because whenever I bought that game, like me and the kids sat and played that like every night for a while. So I was feeling pretty good about myself going into it. Like, all right, I'll be able to hang with him. And then, nope. Got my
Well,
ass beat twice.
I'm gonna throw some more salt on the wound. I think the last game I played was 2K18.
Damn, that makes me feel even worse. So I've decided this is going to be completely off topic, but we both just kind of scroll through Twitter to get most of our shit that we talk about on here. But we need to start posting like Joey Diaz does in the morning. I don't know if you follow him or not, but he posts
Motivation things.
Yes.
Yeah.
His one this morning. Hold on, we'll pull it up because I started reading them to Bailey, and she's like, "You can't read these on your show," and I'm like, "Bullshit, I can't." Like they're hysterical. Where's today's at? He said, "It's Tuesday, ball sniffers. Get out there and be the best you can be."
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. I just kept scrolling through. Like, here's it's Monday. Time to let these motherfuckers know you're not fucking around. It's like my favorite thing that he does is he doesn't do it very often, but he just posts like, and obviously if you go onto his page, you can kind of scroll through and they get more and more vulgar as you go through, which is hysterical. Yeah. But we should start finding our own to post on the mornings, little motivation in the mornings.
Yeah. It's a lot though. I swear. I was like, I did a solid week and then I was like, oh no.
Yeah. I don't know. I love doing this though. It's so much fun.
Mm-hmm. It is fun.
It takes up a lot of like time for researching and stuff, but I feel like it gives me that outlet to kind of spew all this random bullshit off of my brain. Because that's what we did with the podcast for a long time. When it wasn't interviews, it was kind of just us talking about whatever the hell was going on, talking about whatever we saw on Twitter or whatever. So it was very similar to what we're doing with this. Then we kind of molded into the interviews with it. So
yeah,
but it's so much fun.
It is. So do you want to start with one of your topics?
Sure. Well, do you want me to go straight into like craziness, or do you want me
I
to go
figured you're going to, so I was just letting you start her off.
We'll start with it. We'll just go right into it. So we talked about Boeing, right? How
that's on my list too.
Yeah. Do you see the whistleblower?
Yeah, John Barnett. He was silenced.
Yeah. So basically, like you see the videos on Twitter, if you're on there at all, that Boeing's had a lot of trouble. They had a tire fly off in the sky. They've had landing gear issues. They've had wing issues, whatever. Well, this guy that used to be an employee there became a whistleblower and started passing over evidence showing that they were essentially like not going with any of the guidelines kind of thing. Something about like the oxygen masks weren't up to par. They were having them use like jacked up parts that were in like a recycle bin kind of thing just to hurry up, and they're like, oh, just wedge it in there, it'll be okay. Like, you're flying in the air, like that's not, you can't like cut corners with that. But that guy is no longer living because of an apparent boom to the dome from himself, supposedly
in a parking lot,
which it's insane that we keep, like, obviously we're doing research on this stuff consistently, so we see all the craziness. I've kind of gotten you to start diving into the crazy world of Twitter, but then this morning I was kind of going into this like, what the hell are we going to talk about today? Because it was kind of a slow news day. NFL went crazy yesterday, and there was a ton of that stuff going on. But so then this morning, Elon Musk went on a retweet frenzy about freedom of speech. So listen to this stuff. I took screenshots of them because I knew I'd forget. But basically, let me see if we get to it real quick. I apologize. I was not prepared.
While we're still on Boeing, I did find out that they failed 37% of FAA audits.
That's not good.
And one of the videos I saw with John Barnett, he said that he found all this, failed inspections, and then I think it was his superior, took 2 other inspectors, and they said, "Oh, we
Yeah.
only found 50," and they got, awards or something. And he pulled one of the inspectors aside, and they said they were furious. They're like, "We had an hour to check this, and then they kicked us out."
That's so crazy.
And I'm like, they're like, "That's why I don't fly. I ain't flying on a plane."
I told you that one night I forget what we were doing. We were sitting outside and I made that comment to my wife and I'm like, we were looking up in the sky and there was a plane and I'm like, isn't that crazy that like we've been up there that high in the sky? And then you think about this shit. It's like, oh, we could have fallen out of the sky very easily.
Yes.
It's kind of terrifying.
Well, it's a lot. I think the big thing with Boeing was like they had deadlines and they weren't getting those deadlines and they're like, by any means necessary. And it's like, dude, you're flying.
So crazy. Yeah, it's a plane. Like I feel like there are things you can, kind of make work, but when people are flying in them, you can't just, that's insane.
Any sort of machinery, don't cut corners on, whether in the air, on the ground, underground.
Yes, either way.
Don't cut corners on that.
No.
Don't cut corners. Don't really cut corners at all because it bites you in the ass, as we found out with a tiny house hitting a tree.
Yeah. So, and as we found out with our rigging up of our gaming systems.
Yes.
Like yesterday when we did that, we literally had an iPad hanging over the ring light, and then we had my phone pointed at us, and that's how we were able to record that. So it was just rigged up the best we could. Obviously, we need to get the computer and capture card and all that fun stuff to get to where we need to be, but that shit's expensive. So we're working on it.
It's coming slowly.
So the things that Elon Musk was tweeting. So remember I told you about the TikTok ban?
Yeah.
Basically, he tweeted out that that's like a Trojan horse. And in that bill, so if they end up banning TikTok and that becomes a reality, it looked like, and again, I'm not a lawyer. I just am reading this shit. But basically, it's like a Trojan horse that gives them the ability to do this with anything that they deem not good kind of thing. So it gives them the ability that if they don't like Twitter anymore because they're mad at Elon Musk for saying this shit, or they decide that they don't like Spotify because Rogan's talking too much shit about real things or whatever it is, they have the ability to just shut it down. Any website, app, whatever they seem fit, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And I could be wrong, so if anybody goes and reads this, absolutely correct me. But that was kind of the gist of it, was that it's like this Trojan horse to kind of fight against the free speech, because clearly TikTok and Twitter, anybody can post anything, and it's also fact checked. Like, I feel like Twitter is very much fact checked. Obviously, TikTok, people can post whatever they want, and there is no fact checking kind of thing. And then with Facebook, you don't ever see anything news wise on Facebook because it seems like they have kind of control over that.
Thank God.
But essentially, yeah, fair enough. But it also is helpful for people to know what's going on. Like, there's a lot of craziness in the world, and it seems as if they're going. So we talked about that, like global, the WEF, that global regime kind of thing. So that was another one that Elon tweeted this morning. He did the TikTok one, and then he posted. So this one, Canadian law would allow judges to hand down life sentences for speech crimes. So just for saying something.
In Canada?
In Canada. Oh. So, and then there was another one. It was a former Flemish parliamentarian. And he was sentenced to 1 year in prison because supposedly racist memes were shared in a private group that he was part of. So not even, he didn't do it, but because he was in a group message that had those memes being sent in it, he got sentenced to 1 year in jail because he was going against what they were trying. He was just like a political activist kind of thing. Yeah. And they jailed him for being a part of a group that had racist memes, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's obviously very messed up. But I mean, the fact that they didn't even say he did it, and that dude's in jail for a year now because they didn't, like, it's insane. So it seems as if they're somewhat going after free speech a little bit, which is terrifying.
A little bit, but that hasn't hit us yet. That's over in 80.
But I think that's what this TikTok ban, that's kind of the same thing. It's almost as if they do not enjoy that people can just post whatever they want. So this stuff's getting out there. Like, that TikTok was a pretty wild place for the Maui fires, for all these things. People are posting evidence showing you, hey, this is what they're doing right now. Like the chemtrail and cloud seeding stuff, people post videos constantly of like planes just going back and forth. Like they watch the flight things, and people are like studying these flight logs and coming back showing, hey, look, watch what this one's doing. And like it was one over, it was either the Dead Sea or it was somewhere, I can't remember. It was over a body of water, like in a different country kind of thing. But all these plane traffic, you see them all going back and forth. And there's this little bitty plane, and it's just like bouncing back and forth all over, like back, just going back and forth. And it's very interesting. Like, oh, he's just lost. He's just trying to find his way home kind of thing. But then there was a video from the UK where it was showing the same thing. These planes are flying over in the same pattern back and forth. And then it's like a time lapse video day by day of it getting cloudier and gloomy, which obviously could just be the weather. Who knows?
Mhm.
But it's all very interesting that like that could be a real thing.
I guess we'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm a moron and I have no idea. So,
Yeah, we're not journalists. We just
nope.
get on the internet and see what's going on.
Yeah, we read shit on Twitter and hope for the best.
I will cite my source, the Boeing story. I saw that on BBC, so don't come after me. That's just that. In music news, huh?
I said, what'd you have this morning?
In music news, the Raspberry frontman Eric Carmen passed away.
Oh,
He was 74 years old.
Raspberries?
Yeah, he was. One of the songs was in Dirty Dancing.
Oh,
He
okay.
sang. Yeah, it's when Patrick Swayze and the other lady are like learning to dance. There's a teacher behind them. That guy sang that song, but everything else I got is just NFL news.
Yeah.
Signings.
Did you see? I think one of the biggest ones was Saquon to the Eagles. And did you see him going after Tiki Barber?
Yeah.
Because Tiki was talking shit about him leaving or whatever, and
Yeah,
he was like,
you're
"You
dead
didn't
to
like
me."
me when I was here."
Yeah, that's true. It's like that was probably the biggest shocker to go. That
was a big
caliber
one.
star to go to a division rival. A shocking one. I didn't know. Well, Kirk Cousins, I didn't know he was not a Viking anymore.
Yeah,
But then
he
they
went
signed
to the
Sam
Falcons,
Darnold.
right?
Huh?
He went to the Falcons, right?
Yeah. But they signed Sam Darnold. The Vikings did a 1 year, up to $10 million deal.
Wow.
And I was perusing on Twitter this morning, and it said like there's all videos of like this is Justin Jefferson now just throwing a huge fit because I don't quote me on it, but I think Justin Jefferson took a pay cut, and then they got Sam Darnold in that. But yeah,
are they going to draft a quarterback?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not really
watching.
I don't follow football that close, so
I haven't either. It's Twitter was just blowing up with it yesterday.
Oh, it's all crazy. Like Joe Mixon got
Everybody
released by the Bengals.
I saw that. Like it looked like so. It's weird too because last year the running backs were in a bad spot. All the running backs were getting released. Nobody was wanting to pay anybody. And then it seems like this year it's the safeties. A bunch of the safeties have been released and nobody seems to be picking them up. And now all the running backs are getting jobs. The only one that surprises me is Derrick Henry. He's not went anywhere, has he?
Not yet.
Which
As far
is
as I know.
fascinating to me. Like, why would somebody, even just as a like Jerome Bettis type big third down back, like that dude is a monster.
Exactly. Well, I mean, also like the Bills, they had a fire sale. They got rid of a lot of people last week.
The Panthers did too.
Who
So
did?
much so Luke Combs tweeted about it and was like, hey, what the hell are we doing? Like, you're not getting picks for these players. You're just like fire selling again. Like, what is happening? Why are you doing this?
I bet there's some news I saw that the Bears will be building a new stadium.
Yeah,
In Chicago.
they got it's staying in Chicago. They're not going to go to Arlington now. They're staying in Chicago, and they're going to build like a $2 billion dome, I believe is what they're doing.
Cool.
It seems as if they're trading Justin Fields too, or it's been going back and forth, but Poles said this morning they're kind of weighing all options and they want to do right by Justin kind of thing. So it seems as if they're going to go after Caleb Williams and then hopefully they go after a receiver.
That's a horrible idea.
If they're going to do it, I think they saw last year they passed up a couple and they could have done it last year also. So that's my guess.
And I'm not saying Caleb Williams is athletic, but I'm just saying, dude, he is like a media nightmare. Like, I've got to be owner. I've got to be this. I've got to be that. It's like, dude, you're in college and you have yet to be proven in the NFL. No team is going to give you ownership.
Absolutely.
Day one.
Well, and my thing was the biggest thing that I had with him was that when he lost and instead of like being a normal teammate and whatever, he went up and sat with his parents and cried in the stands after he lost. And it's like, the hell are you doing? Like that was one of those like, ooh, I don't know that I don't know that I watched maybe one or two Bears games last year, but they also sucked horribly. And I'm just, as a Bears and Cubs fan lifelong, I'm kind of sick of watching sports teams suck. So I just bailed. There was no, it's so hard.
Yeah, well, the Bears, it's been rough for the Bears since what, about 07?
About 85, give or take.
06, 07, they had a good run.
They got lucky. Rex Grossman was terrible, and they had a badass defense. They should not have been there then either. They were terrible.
Did you had high hopes.
Yeah, well, that was my life forever, was having high hopes that either of the teams were going to do good, and then they both always sucked ass. So it just, yeah, you get kind of used to it after.
What about the Blackhawks? Are they any good?
They just got that kid. I can't remember his name. I can't remember. They got the first pick last year, and they took that. He was like this phenom. I cannot remember his name for the life of me. But I watch it every once in a while. It's way fun to watch live.
I enjoy watching it. I don't know what's going on. I enjoy watching it. I'm just like, woo! I used to follow it. I used to follow it pretty closely when I was a little kid. Like Detroit Red Wings, man, that was my squad.
Yeah.
I think about middle school, I kind of floated away from it.
It's really hard to get into because it's one of those that I always like want to watch, and then I sit and watch it, and then I find myself venturing to my phone. I find myself venturing to doing other things or whatever, and it's just it's one of those. The same thing I do with every sport anymore. If it's on and there's nothing else on, I might throw it on if I'm in the mood to watch it. But anymore,
good background.
Yeah, it's so hard for me to just sit and like watch a game now. I don't know. I don't know the lot. Which baseball coming up, like I said, we need to go to a couple live baseball games because those are a blast to just go sit. But just sitting and watching a full baseball game's tough. I don't know that I have I have the time. I don't do a whole lot, but it's tough. Yeah,
well, you will not catch me watching baseball on TV. It's awful. I can't do it.
Yeah, it's very difficult. Speaking of baseball,
I would rather listen to it on the radio and then go do something else. But
yeah, I've done that a lot where I'm doing yard work and I like listen to the Cubs game or whatever, or like out in the pool at mom and dad's or something, and like it's kind of relaxing. But same concept. It kind of bores the shit out of you after a while.
You really can't watch the Cubs though, can you? Because they're on
marquee. Yeah, I'd have to go.
I don't know what that is.
So they did their own like WWE network kind of thing where they have their own network. The problem is they sold it to AT&T and DirecTV, and I'm pretty sure that's still the only place you can get it. There's some of them that you can get like standalone, you can buy it, I believe, but I'm pretty sure AT&T DirecTV is the only one that carries it right now. So it's like, oh, do you want to pay $200 a month to watch the Cubs games? No, not really.
No,
I did it last year, and I probably watched a handful, and it was like, well, this is not worth the money. That was kind of stupid.
That's where I'm at. I mean, we cut all live TV now, and I'm paying $8 a month for Hulu. So
yeah. Ooh, another one that I saw while we're on the baseball topic. I forget what his name was. It was like Coach David Klein on Twitter. I just happened to run across it, but I mean, he posted this damn near novel looking thing that he was basically just talking about how he's coaching a rec league baseball team, and he's like, this is horrible. Like what has happened? Like numbers are down for baseball across the country. Like this is exactly what's problem. And essentially he broke down that he was doing a coach pitch game, and he said, hey, we're rushing these kids way past where they should be. And he kind of broke down the age levels that you should be like this is where they should be doing coach pitch. Like, and he basically said 8 to 10, like having the kids pitch is such a detriment to their arms, to the game. He's like, I mean, even in coach pitch, he goes, I watched the coach get down on a knee, throw these looping balls over their head. And he goes, I would venture to guess, he goes, all my kids in 90 minutes of the game, they all got 2 at-bats, and there were maybe a handful of balls put into play. And he's like, I mean, these kids are just standing out there with their thoughts, and they're going to get bored. They're going to realize that there's way more action-packed activities out there that they can go hang out, or they can go hang out with their friends, or when they get older and they get into girls, it's like, this is boring. Like, I don't want to sit here. And he has something called speedball. He didn't specify what it was, but he has his own rules for the league they play in. And he's like, basically every kid is going to get like 10 at-bats throughout this thing. Like, I have no idea how he does it or what it was. He didn't specify, but he wrote this whole novel looking thing, basically saying everything wrong with baseball right now, and that it's essentially coaches and parents trying to push these kids past where they should be to like further their own ego kind of thing. But I'm pretty sure it was Coach David Klein. If you want to go on and read it, like I said, it was a very, very long thing, but it was also pretty informative. There was a few times I got kind of lost in it because he started talking about the speedball stuff, and he didn't really do a very good job of explaining what the hell that was. But
well, if you pay $200, he'll tell you what it is.
Yeah, fair enough. That's probably basically what it is. But
Yeah.
It was just interesting because it is like you go and watch these games, and that's why numbers are down, because these kids are going, I'd rather go hang out in the summer and go swim and do this. I don't want to stand on a field, sweat my ass off, and just stand there for a couple hours or whatever it is. And yeah, it was just really interesting because we've talked about that a lot, and he was not wrong. It was a pretty cool little like thing to read.
Yeah, because when do kids start throwing like pitching? Is it third grade or something like that?
Yeah, I think like the 9, 10-ish is kind of when like they get out of the coach pitch and they go into the kid pitch. And I remember being over there for that first year of kid pitch. It was like mind numbing. You're just watching a walkathon basically.
It was awful.
And yeah, nobody's putting the ball in play. Nobody can throw strikes. I mean, I get it. They have to learn, but at the same time, it's like it becomes and then parents, everybody, coaches are complaining, going, well, I don't know what to do. Like, these games are boring. These kids aren't getting anything out of it. Well, then there needs to be some sort of change. Like, and that's basically what he was saying, was that they're doing this at a way too young of an age, that they're trying to progress them through. Mm-hmm. And it should essentially be like a year or two later kind of thing. And then he was talking about the practices, and how essentially you get 2 practices before the first game, and then good luck trying to practice after that. I started laughing. I'm like, yep, because during the season you don't practice. So these kids that have never played baseball before, you get to practice with them 2 times and throw them right into the wolves. And you're like, okay, well, now you have to learn how to play baseball just playing a game once or twice a week, and good luck, because you're not going to get the practice. And then like an in-game situation, you can tell them these things, like you can watch them strike out or whatever and go, hey man, this is what you're doing, but you're not doing a whole lot to fix it. I mean, you really can't.
Well, that's when we were kids, did we practice more? I felt like we practiced a lot more.
I don't know. I don't remember. I think during the season it just kind of stops. Really? Like, unless you can get out to a park or somewhere that's not the youth league, because I feel like once it starts, the fields are taken up every night, and like you're already playing 2 nights a week. So then as a coach, you have to decide if it's like, oh shit, can I wiggle in a practice somewhere here? But then you have these kids going to this stuff 3 nights a week. And then if they have other activities like, like jujitsu or whatever the hell else they're doing, it becomes a like, oh, do I want to do this 3 nights a week, or do I want to go do this or have fun with this, whatever it is. It's I don't know. It's very interesting.
But we also played Saturdays though. Wasn't that like one of your games on Saturday? You might play a night game and then you play on Saturday.
Yeah. I feel like that's how it was for a long time. Like Saturday was like the day to go play, but now you have the all-star stuff and everything else like we've talked about. So that kind of muddies the water as well, because then you have these all-star teams practicing all year round now, which is kind of strange, but whatever. That's a whole nother topic.
Yep. It's another discussion for another day.
I was going to bring this up a minute ago. Did you see what Nick Saban said, why he left? Like why he said, forget it. Basically, he said that after that last game, he goes, I really was thinking next year, like we have a lot of returning players. We're going to be in a really good spot. Like we could really make a run next year. But he said after the game, he had so many kids that were like basically acting out and throwing helmets and throwing a fit. And then he had multiple kids come to him and go, hey, I need a guarantee that I'm going to play next year, or I'm going in the transfer portal. And he just goes, maybe this won't work anymore. And he bailed. That's why he did it, because he's like, I can't coach these kids anymore. Like they're all under that impression that they're God's gift to football and everyone deserves to start. Everyone, like there is no, I'm going to work to get my spot. It's, hey, I need you to guarantee me, coach, that we're going to get to play next year. And it's like, well, that's not how it works, man. And that's what he bailed for. He was like, yeah, it's not.
I don't blame him
anymore.
I don't blame him, because dude, being a college coach has got to be dang near impossible now, because you have to recruit a kid for 4 to 5 years. You don't recruit him that 1 year and get him in. You're recruiting him the whole time. And
I just realized I never changed it from Diner Arcade. Sorry.
It says Diner Daily Special on mine.
Oh, does it? Okay, good. Up on my top it says Diner Arcade, so I'll have to go back and edit the post here in a little bit. Sorry, didn't mean
Oh,
to
you're.
interrupt
I
you.
was saying the graphic. Yeah, yours says.
Oh yeah,
Yours
yeah.
says.
Up on top I left it, so I'll have
Ah,
to. Hopefully, I can switch it out and we'll
yeah,
be all to go.
but I do have one last
Yeah,
NFL news. Tyrod Taylor. He is
all
signing
that.
with the Jets. 2 years, 18 mil, backing up Aaron Rodgers.
That'll be good for him. That'll
You know
probably
what?
make a pretty
Tyrod's
big
been a
difference.
solid. He's a solid quarterback. He just never had. He got screwed over in San Diego when they stuck him and punctured a lung. But
I like when teams do that too. It's very different styles. Like you have two very different style quarterbacks, so maybe Rodgers takes something out of that, and maybe Tyrod takes something from him and makes him this crazy quarterback. Did you see Rodgers said he's hoping to play another 4 years?
Wow. You know, if he does, cool.
Yeah, I don't hate him anymore. I enjoy him now. I hated him for most of my life. So, but now I'm good with him. He's no longer a Packer. So,
well, that's the thing is like, I mean, Tom Brady proved it, but Tom Brady was a freak with his diet and everything. I mean, not everybody wants to do that. So, I mean,
it's hard.
Dude, I wouldn't want to do that. Like, dude, you know what I had for dinner last night? I had Totino's pizza rolls, like a bag, like an entire bag.
I ended up going to get a quesadilla from Taco Bell because I was starving. We both felt like shit. And I was like, do you know, it really isn't that bad. A quesadilla and a taco was only like 680 calories or something like that.
Oh,
and I probably,
calories, so.
I've just been watching it. I've been trying to pay attention. Like yesterday I had an apple and a handful of peanuts before we went to the gym. And then sometime that afternoon I had a breakfast burrito with it was like a low carb, high protein tortilla kind of thing with egg, bacon, ham, and cheese with fruit and another handful of peanuts. And then when I got home last night, I went and got a quesadilla and a taco. So, I mean, that's more than I've eaten, but even like that makes me feel like shit. Like I woke up this morning and immediately wanted to go to the gym because I was mad at myself that I ate Taco Bell last night. And like, my wife gets so mad at me because I've basically been fasting every other day. Like I'll eat one day and then the next day I'm like, okay, I'm good. I need to like back off, which I did just see Kevin James said on Rogan, they were talking about his diet and stuff. And to get ready for a movie, he did a water fast for 41 days.
No way.
Yeah. And then I was reading a thing that said 7 days of a water only fast, like will reset your entire like system. They said if you can go 7 days with only water, it'll essentially like reset your whole system and your health. Which I think that was on Men's Health, maybe. I can't remember. It was another Twitter article that I ran across, but I thought that was very fascinating too.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. It's a day's tough.
Yeah, it's so like I've told you that whenever we were talking about the wing eating competition, like I fight that inner fat kid every day. Like I'll smell something, or like my kids will be eating something, or I'll see somebody else eating something, and it like I have to just basically keep that discipline and go, nope, we're not doing that. We've worked way too hard, and we're not falling back into that. Because if I fall back into it and I start eating the bullshit, I will go on a freaking tyrant and I will just keep eating and eating and eating, and it's terrible. And then I feel like shit. My brain stops working, and it's like, oh, I got to get back to what I'm doing, and that's the only way I've been able. It takes a lot because, like I said, I fight it all the time. Like I'll walk in and I'll see something that I want, and I'm like, nope, don't do it. Like we're gonna feel like shit. Don't dive in.
That's where you and I differ. I'm like, ooh, I saw pizza roll. I said I ain't had a pizza roll 10 years.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those that I've been doing it for so long now that it almost like I've gotten in that routine. And that's the biggest thing for me is and obviously I don't work. So that makes it very, very simple to like not have to worry about the food. I mean, if you're going into a job every day, it's so easy to just go grab, McDonald's or something real quick, or, grabbing something quick on your way to work, whatever it is. So, I mean, obviously that helps a lot as well, but it's just been sticking to that like routine and that schedule for me. And it doesn't always work, but so far so good. Hopefully I can keep it up.
We'll keep going.
I'm trying. My goal is to lose this like lower belly fat by the time we film that movie. Because that's the only thing that I'm still working on, and it is so hard to get rid of.
Yeah. No sugar.
Yeah, and I've cut it out I mean, almost completely. There's not a whole lot that I will eat. Like even with my trail mix, I won't eat the M&Ms in it, and I'll limit the raisins that I'm eating because obviously there's a shitload of added sugar and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I've kind of cut it out to where I'm not getting like I used to get like I was so bad. I used to get headaches and shit. But I was also the person that like I'd get up in the morning and on my way to work I'd grab an egg McMuffin. We'd go somewhere outlandish for dinner or for lunch because those crazy people, and we would go eat, Fogo or there's that Brew Burger downtown. There were so many places, and we would go, and it was like you'd almost get made fun of for ordering like fruit or a water or something like that. So you're just hammering Coke after Coke, eating shit fried food constantly. And then I was so bad and so fat, I'd find out what we were eating for dinner. And if I was like, ooh, not sure that I liked that, I would stop on the way home and grab like Arby's or something just because I was like, I want that rather than this. And then I'd go home and eat whatever, and then we'd snack at night. There was times where I would do all of those things, and then we would order DoorDash at like 10 o'clock at night and order something to eat. Like that's
Good
how.
Lord, man.
Yeah, that's why I was over 300 pounds. Like it was crazy. Trying to break that was freaking a nightmare, and it's still like I told you that when we did the wing eating competition. I'm like, I can still eat. It's still there. I have to fight it and tell it no every single day. And that inner fat kid is an asshole. He wants to eat all the time, and it sucks.
Yeah, you neglected that when we were saying that we were discussing a spread.
Yes. I also know that, like, I mean, I'll be honest. I was surprised I ate as many as I did. That was a lot of chicken. When are we doing that again, by the way?
We'll have to get with them and find out. We got to get a Google Doc typed up for the applicants.
Here in about a month, right?
Yeah, about a month. Yeah. So.
Well, cool. Well, do we want to hit our sponsors, or?
Yes, we do need to hit our sponsors. Totally forgot.
We kind of forgot that part.
Yeah. Thank you to our gold sponsors: Wabash Valley Plumbing, Peak Performance Gym, Pappy's Barbecue, ML Productions, Wabash Valley Adult and Teen Challenge, and Stitched Brands. Thank you. Don't forget, we are doing a food or donation drive for the Wabash Valley Adult and Teen Challenge till March 21st. And you can drop your items off here at the diner, and we will get them collected. Anybody that donates will be entered in a giveaway for a T-shirt and hat. And then also our merch store is open, shop.thedinerpod.com.
I need to do a different graphic for this one, but you get it.
Yeah, it's just the hats and the OGs now. So,
and we do have a couple more coming here pretty soon that we're going to release, so that should be a good time.
We'll get those designs out. Get them ready to go. So, yeah, thank you for joining us. Cool. Hope it was entertaining.
It was a slow take a nap. We did our best.
Yeah. Well, I was tired too.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
No, not
the sauna helped me. I feel so much better now.
I skipped it
on, so
I'm like, nope. I walked by it and I'm like, nope.
Yeah, I even went longer than I normally do. I was about to die, but I could just feel it pulling all that shit out of me, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need this. Like, get it out so I can. It's supposed to be 70 degrees today. I would like to go out and enjoy it. I wasn't trying to lay around and be sick all day. And that's exactly what I would have done. If I didn't go to the gym, I'd have been screwed. Because I woke up, it was the sore throat, the headache. I couldn't stop coughing. My body hurt. I'm like, oh, fuck. I don't want to do this today. Like, it's supposed to be super nice. I have shit to do outside.
Yeah. I probably got stuff to do outside too. But
yeah, that's why I figured it's going to be 70. And next week, I think it's supposed to be back down to like the 40s again. So utilize this weather while I can.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Indiana weather.
Yeah. So. You get spring for one day and then it goes back to winter and so on and so forth until it'll eventually be smothering hot and we'll feel like we're all dying. But I'd rather have that than freeze my ass off. So
that is true.
Yeah.
That is true. So, well cheers.
Up.
Yep. You have a good one.
Cheers, sir. Talk to you later.
Cheers.
Bye.